Great, this is Chapter 3, Topic 6 video for your homework assignment. So we're going to look at direct variation, and that's a special case of y equals mx plus b, where b value is 0, so the y-intercept is 0. So if we read the bullets, it's described by the form y equals kx, where k can't be 0, and y equals kx has a constant rate of change, which is k. So k represents the constant of variation. So if we look at example 1a, it says name the constant of variation. Well, if we look at that line, there's an equation given to us, y equals negative 2x. Since k is being multiplied by x, we can say that the constant of variation is that number negative 2. So 1a, our solution is negative 2. Now let's look at part b, find the slope of the line. We have to find rise over run. So from that first point that we see on the left to this point, we calculate rise over run. So the rise is negative 2 because we're going down 2, and then the run is 1. When we simplify that fraction, we get negative 2, and if you notice, that's the same as the constant of variation. Let's look at number 2. The constant of variation is that number in the equation that's being multiplied by the x, which is 3/2. Then find the slope of the line using those 2 points. So from left to right, we're going up 3, and then we also are running 2. So the constant of variation and the slope, they're the same. One of the most common applications of direct variation is the distance equals rate times time formula. So distance is d, varies directly as the time t and r. So if we look at the travel problem, a family drove their car 225 miles in 5 hours. So I'm going to rewrite my equation and fill in what I know. Well, I know 225 is the distance. I know that their time was 5 hours, but I don't know their rate. So I'm going to have that equal to rate times that 5 hours. So I knew distance, I knew time, I just don't know rate. So in order to solve that equation, I'm going to need to divide both sides by 5, and then I get r is equal to 45. So distance is equal to 45 times time, or 45 miles per hour. Looking in the exercises, we're talking about bulk jelly beans, and the cost is $4.49 times the number of pounds. So you guys already know how to write this formula. The cost is just equal to $4.49 times the number of pounds. That's how you find the price of anything. The price per unit times the number of units. So if we're graphing that equation on the grid on the right, we'll start with, well, what happens if we buy nothing? We don't pay anything, 0, 0. And then when we plug in 1 for p, we get $4.49, which is about $4.50, and it's going to increase by the same amount every time. And this is direct variation because that y-intercept is 0. Solving direct variation equations, we can use a proportion. So the proportion that we're going to use is the same as the one you've always used. Y over x equals y over x. And this is just saying you need to have the same type of thing in the numerator and then the same type of thing in the denominator. So when we did word problems, we used to say if we had miles and hours, we would always have miles in the numerators and then hours in the denominator. So we're going to do the same thing here, but y over x equals y over x. So we're going to look at those first piece of information. Y is 30 when x is 5. So let's fill that in for that first fraction on the left side of the equal sign. 30 over 5 equals, now we have to find x when y is 18. So that means we don't know x, but we do know that the new y is 18. So we can go ahead and put 18 for y in the numerator, and then we don't know x, so x stays in the denominator. From here, you guys know what to do, cross multiply, and then solve for x. So we get x is equal to 4 when y is 18. So we're going to do the same thing for that second example, set up the proportion. So our first piece of information, y is 27 when x is equal to 5. So we're going to go ahead and write 27 over 5. This time we don't know y, but we do know x. So in our numerator on the right side, we need y. And in our denominator, our x value is now 9. So then we can cross multiply that and solve for y. We get y is equal to 48.6. Please move on to the U-Tries to complete your homework for tonight. Thank you.